Today we're going to start working on our interface, so let's start creating some text labels. These are all going to be on the UI layer, so lock the other layers, select the UI layer, double click to add a text box. I'm going to put that in the top left corner. I'm going to name this score label. I'm going to put the position at 8.8. I'm going to make my height 48, and the width just needs to be wide enough so that it holds your score no matter how large it gets. I'll make it 450. So that I know what text this is, I'm going to put score colon. Here's where we can set our font. You can use whichever font you want. I'm going to set mine to 20 and bold. Set your color of your text in the next one. Make sure that whatever color text you choose shows up on the background. And then create another text box right under it. I'm going to call this the next ball label. And there we're going to show how many points we need until we earn another ball. For our position, it's going to be the same 8 for the X, and we'll do 48 for the Y, so that they're evenly spaced out. I'm going to put next ball in the text box so that we can see what it says, and then I would do the same thing for the font that you did on the last one. So same size, same color, and the text box size should be the same as well. So 450 and 48 was our size. Right under that, we're going to have another text box that's going to show what line we are on. So I'm going to put lines label. Position for this one is going to be 8, and then we're increasing by 40 again, so 88. Size can be the same. Height again, 48. Put lines for the text so that we know what it is. And do the same font. I'm going to do the same color. Then in the top right corner, I'm going to put information about the balls. So let's double click and add a text box in the top right corner. This one I'm going to name balls label. That will show how many balls we have on the screen. For position, let's put 568. And the Y coordinate also is 8 so that it has the same vertical offset as score. Put the same font as before, same color as before, but here, instead of horizontal alignment left, we want it to be aligned to the right side of the box, and our hotspot needs to be the top right corner instead of the top left. Again, our size needs to be changed. Height should be 48, so we can see the text. You can make it 450 as well. To make this a little faster, if you're making an object that's pretty close to the same, I'm going to right click and do clone object type, click about where I want it. It's probably called balls label 2. We will name that to ball count label. Position for that is 568. The Y coordinate should be 48. The size, font, color, horizontal alignment, and hotspot should all be copied from the previous object, so we just need to set the text. I'm going to put that as total balls, and that will show the total number that we can have on the screen at a time, which should be equal to the ball count variable. And we'll clone that object type, and right underneath there, put another one. We will call this ball power label. That will be for an upgrade that we do in the future. Position is 568, 88. Size is the same. Everything in properties is the same except for the text, which we will put as ball power, colon. Now all of the objects that we need for this are there. So let's go to our event sheet. And now we need to set all of those text boxes. Before we start adding in our text boxes, we're going to add in a variable for our score, which will start at 0. Hit OK. Then we can set our score label equal to that. So set text to quotation marks, score, colon, space, quotation marks, ampersand, and then our score variable value. Hit done. Then we're going to set the next ball label. The text for that is going to be next ball, colon, space, close quotation marks, ampersand, and then the formula for the next value, which is going to be ceil, which is a ceiling rounding function, open parentheses, 10, and then to the power of, so that is caret, which is shift 6, 2 open parentheses. Then we need our ball count, so the number of balls we have, so ball count plus 1, close parentheses, times the base 10 log of 1.5, close parentheses, 3 times. And this is basically the opposite of what we're going to do for calculating how many balls we have. This formula will be in the description of the video. Click done. Now for simpler labels, we will go to the lines label. Set text there is going to be lines, colon, space, quotation marks, ampersand, then our lines variable. Hit done. Then for the numbers on the top right, our balls label. Set text is going to be balls, colon, space, quotation mark, ampersand, and this is going to be the number of balls we have, so that's ball, the object, dot count. Hit done. Next is the ball count label. That's going to be the total number of balls we have, so that will be total balls, colon, space, quote, ampersand. This is our ball count variable, so ball count. Click done. And our last one is the ball power, so let's go to ball power label. Set text, ball power, colon, space, quote, ampersand. That's our power variable. Click done. And we won't need to set any more of these. We can just copy and paste them when we need to use them. First, let's open up our ball group. Let's go to the balls label, which is balls, colon, ball.count. Copy that, paste that here. And actually, before I start moving it, I want to make sure that every ball starts from the same position and then this 0.01 doesn't affect anything. So I'm going to add a ball.set position to another object, and I want that to be the ball spawner. And hit done. So we'll set the position first, we'll set the speed, and then we'll update our count. We'll close the ball group. Okay, in our ball hitting ground group, once we destroy a ball, we're also going to update the ball count. So we can paste the same label that we still have on our clipboard. But I want to double click that and change that to ball count -1, because the count does not update as soon as it's destroyed until the beginning of the next frame. When I didn't have -1, it did not work correctly for me. On our else, since we added 1 to lines, we need to take lines, copy, paste that, and so we added 1 to lines, we need to update that. We also need to now set our ball count. So we're going to do add action, system, set value of ball count, and that should be the max between floor, and then we have our base 10 log of score, close parentheses, divided by the base 10 log of 1.5, close parentheses twice, comma 1. So our real formula is right here. We want the floor of that, and then we have the max between this and 1 so that our ball count never becomes 0. I'm going to put that right after our lines. Now that we have set our ball count, we can take our ball count label, copy that, and paste that right under our set ball count. We also can now find out the score we need for our next ball. So let's copy that, paste that right under here. And we also need to update the balls label 1 time, copy, and paste that right underneath our ball destroy. That's all we need for this group for now. When we go into brick, so we're not going to change anything in line, we want to add points every time the ball hits a brick. So let's add an action. Do system. We want to add to our score, and we want to add whatever the brick's health is. Brick.health. We want to do that before we subtract from the health, so let's put that one at the top. Then we want to update our score label. So let's take score label, copy that, and paste it. Every time you change the scores, you need to update the score label. That's all we need from brick. And all of our text boxes in the game should now be set. So if we were to run the game, we should have all of our values. We need to reset total balls back to 1 so that we don't start with 5. Right now it's saying that I need 12 points to get to 6. So when I shoot those, we'll see that I have 6 points. It's actually going to reset me back down to 4. So let's go back into our code. Our ball count, we're going to start that at 1. It's actually a good idea for our start of layout to set all of those values. So do system, set value. We want score to be set to 0. Put that at the top. We'll copy and paste it so I can double click and change lines to 1 because we'll start on the first line. Copy and paste lines. And I want my power to also be 1. Copy and paste that. I also want the ball count to be 1. So score, lines, power, and ball count should all be set. Score is 0. The rest are 1. I want all of these set before I do the labels. This will be important for later when we restart a game whenever we have a game over. So now when we run it, we'll see that we start off with 1 ball. The next one is at 3. So if I just get 2 points, I will still have 1. I'll get 1 more point, that will take me to 3, which will give me a total of 2. Get 2 more points will take me to 5. That should give me a total of 4. The way we set it up, it scales really fast at the beginning, and then it will slow down really fast. While our bricks are the other way around, they slowly ramp up and then they start to increase faster and faster. So eventually there will be more bricks than the balls can overcome. Now since we created all of the balls at the same time, when we launch it, it goes from 0 right to whatever our max number is until they come down and hit the ground. We can fix that, but it's going to take a little bit of work, so we will do that next time when we implement the power up.